Hello students, I am Sanjay Kamble, Assistant Professor in Department of Accountancy. In our previous lecture, we are studied the practical problem on preparation of cost sheet, problem number 3rd. In problem number 3rd, we ignore some items which is not related to cost sheet. Here we firstly discuss the problem number 3rd. In problem number 3rd, director fees, discount received, bank charges, share capital, reserve for bad debts, dividend paid, these items which are related to pure finance, so it should be ignored. Discount received, which is related to pure finance, so it is ignored from cost sheet. If the discount received on raw material is given, then we deduct the discount received from the material consumed or the opening stock or purchases. Opening stock plus purchases less discount received on raw material. So here discount received is not given on specific, so it is ignored because it is related to financial accounting. Bank charges is also related to financial accounting. Share capital is also related to financial accounting. Reserve for bad debts is also related to financial accounting because any provision, any reserve should not be taken into consideration while preparing the cost sheet. And dividend paid, it is also related to financial accounting, so it is also ignored from cost sheet. Okay, so today we are going to discuss the problem number 3rd. Problem number 4th. Here problem number 4th, first of all I read the problem, then we solve it. The following data relates to manufacturing of standard products during the 4 weeks ending 28 October 2020. ओके, तर हा डेटा दिलेला आहे 4 वीक्सचा. बघूया त्यामध्ये काय काय आहे. तर पर्टिक्युलर्स रुपीज, in particulars raw material rupees 20,000, direct wages rupees 12,000, machine hour rate 2 per hours, machine hour worked 1,000 hours. Okay, next office overheads 15% on work cost, selling overheads 37 paisa, unit produced 20,000 units, units sold at rupees 2.50 rupees each, 18,000 units, prepared statement showing the cost of production per unit and the profit earned. म्हणजे 20,000 युनिट्स तयार करण्यासाठी किती खर्च येतोय, कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, टोटल कॉस्ट आणि पर युनिट दोन्ही फाइंड आउट करायचा आहे. आणि 18,000 युनिट विकल्यानंतर आपल्याला मिळणारा प्रॉफिट हा इथं आपल्याला फाइंड आउट करायचा आहे. सो लेट स्टार्ट टू सॉल्व द प्रॅक्टिकल प्रॉब्लेम और प्रॉब्लेम नंबर 4th. हियर first of all write the name of the company. So name of the company is standard product, manufacturing of standard product, manufacturing of standard product. Okay, cost sheet for the 4 weeks ended 28 October 2020. Okay, so let's start. First of all, to find out the cost of production per unit as well as cost of production in total cost. So here we find out the cost of product for 20,000 units here. for cost of production. Here a point or a what is a? The cost of production and cost per unit of 20,000 युनिट्स. ओके, 20,000 युनिटसाठी किती खर्च येणार आहे कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शनचा हे फाइंड आउट इथं करणार आहोत. सो इन्सर्ट द टेबल 3. ओके, 3 हियर particulars, सेकंड टोटल कॉस्ट रुपीज आणि थर्ड cost per unit. Here particulars rupees or per unit rupees. Okay, here rupees टोटल कॉस्ट म्हटलं तरी चालेल किंवा फॉर नॉट नेसेसरी. हियर वी राईट डाऊन, वी हायलाइट इट. 20,000 युनिट प्रोडक्ट करण्यासाठी किती खर्च येतो इथं रुपीज इन column. So here first of all find out the raw material consumed. Here raw material consumed is given in the problem. Okay, raw material 20,000. Okay, so we transfer this 20,000 to cost sheet here. Okay, raw material consumed, that is 20,000. Okay, so find out the per unit rupees. So it is very easy to find out the per unit cost. Here per unit working note number first. Here working note to find out the per unit cost. Okay, is equal to, here unit produced divided by total expenses. Okay, किंवा total material consumed. Here material consumed. Okay, सॉरी काहीतरी चुकतं इथं यामध्ये. फॉर्म्युला असा तयार होईल. ओके, की मटेरियल कंज्युम्ड डिवायडेड बाय युनिट प्रोड्यूस्ड. ओके, सो इज इक्वल टू $20,000 divided by 20,000. We get the cost per unit cost is equal to ₹1. ओके, किती मिळाली? 1 मिळाली. ती कुठे जाईल? इथे जाईल. ओके, किती मिळाली? ₹1. So we highlight it. Okay, so we find out the per unit cost, that is material consumed divided by unit produced. Okay, so we find out the per unit cost of material consumed. Now we transfer the direct expenses or direct wages to cost sheet or add in raw material consumed, we get a prime cost. Okay, so okay, so we add the direct expenses which is given in the problem. So find out the direct expenses. Only direct wages is given, so transfer the direct wages in material consumed. Here we add the direct wages that is amounted to rupees 12,000, and find out the cost per unit. So use this formula again. So okay, it is a first working note. Then we find out the second, that is direct wages divided by unit produced. Okay, unit produced. Okay, so direct wages is equal to 12,000 divided by 20,000. We get a per unit cost of product. ओके, म्हणजे एक युनिट प्रोड्यूस करायला किती वेजेस आपण पेड करतो. ओके, हे इथं आपल्याला काय होईल माहीत होईल. ओके, तो इज इक्वल टू, सो इज 0.60 पैसा. ओके, सो इट इज ट्रान्सफर टू here 0.60 paisa. Okay, so we highlight this per unit cost, how to calculate the per unit cost. It is very easy to calculate the per unit cost. Okay, unit produced or direct wages means direct wages divided by unit produced. The amount is given in the problem 12,000, and unit produced during the 4 week is also given 20,000. That is cost per unit or wages per unit produced is rupees 60 paise. Okay, so add these amount in okay, so add total of both column is total of both column is total of both column. So let's find out the total is 32,000 total cost or prime cost, and 1.60 per unit cost is prime cost. Okay, here we find out the prime cost of the organization, that is 32,000, and per unit cost is 1.60. just add it in rupees 1, we get the prime cost. Okay, as it is here 12,000 is add in 20,000, we get the prime cost, because only direct wages is given, direct expenses is not given. So here we directly compute the prime cost easily. Now we add the factory overheads in prime cost. So factory overheads is given, so machine hour work is given in the problem. Let's see here, machine hour rate and machine hour worked. So machinery is used in factory, so it is a expenditure related to factory. So find out the cost of or factory overheads is, that is machine hour rate is, factory overheads is 1000 hours at rupees 2 per, at rupees 2 per hour आवर्स. ओके, दिलेला आहे. मग किती येईल रे, तर 2000 येईल ना. म्हणजेच कसं होईल, इथं इंटू ब्रॅकेटमध्ये मी तुम्हाला दाखवतो. 1000 into 2. Okay, so we get the total factory overheads is 2000. So 2000 is right here in total column, and find out the cost per unit. So cost per unit is, here we did not write the formula, just put the figures in adjustment number third, just put the figures here. Is equal to it's 2000 divided by 2000 divided by 20,000, we get the cost per unit. Okay, is equal to, just cancel the 000, so 0.10 is the cost per unit in factory overheads. Okay, for producing a goods we use the machinery, and we incurred the 0.10 paisa cost for producing a one unit. Okay, producing a single unit we incurred 0.10 paisa in factory overheads. Okay, and we make the total of this, we add the factory overheads in prime cost. Okay, just add the factory overheads in prime cost, we get the work on cost or factory overheads. Okay, we get the work on cost or factory overheads. Okay, so total is 34,000. Okay, and per unit cost is, just add 0.10 in prime cost, that is 1.70, म्हणजे 1.70 पैसे एवढा खर्च आपला एका युनिटला येणार आहे फॅक्टरीमध्ये माल असताना. ओके, त्याला नाव दिलं जाईल फॅक्टरी cost or works on cost. Okay, we get a factory cost or work on cost by adding the factory overheads in prime cost. Okay, factory overheads prime cost मध्ये ऍड केल्यानंतर आपल्याला मिळणार आहे factory cost or work on cost. So let's see in the problem office expenses. Then we add, what we add, we add the office and administrative expenses or overheads. Okay, overheads. So find out the office overheads. In our problem this says that office overheads 15% on work cost. So work cost is, how much is work cost? Work cost is, here work cost is 24,000. So 24,000, then 15%, so we write it here in bracket 15% on work cost. Just find out 15% on work cost. So 15% on 34,000, that is okay, so 34,000 into 15 divided by 100. Okay, we get the amount of office overhead. So this formula you must remember how to calculate the 15% on फॅक्टरी कॉस्ट. काय सांगितलेलं आहे इथं, तर ऑफिस ओव्हरहेड्स हे वर्क कॉस्टच्या 15% आहेत. ओके, मग वर्क कॉस्ट किती आहे आपली 34,000. 34,000वरती 15% आपण कॅल्क्युलेट करणार. आय थिंक इथं 5,100 ही आपल्याला काय होईल रक्कम किंवा अमाऊंट मिळेल. दिस इज आवर office and administrative overhead. So find out the per cost. So it is very easy to calculate. Just put this amount in here. We drop this formula in next line. So okay, so here find out the per unit cost, that is 5,100 divided by 20,000. Okay, so we is the minimize the line spacing, we easily understood, divided by the 20,000 because the expenses incurred for 20,000 units. Okay, the expenses incurred for producing a 20,000 units. So per unit cost is I think 0.25 or 55, I think so, अशी काहीतरी येईल. मग we make it round figure. So find out the 5,100 divided by 20,000, we get the okay exact बरोबर. Okay, so make it round figure. Round figure is 0.26, okay, per unit cost. Okay, so here if the digit is more than 5, then we make the round figure. If digit is below the 5, then we take only 25. Okay, so here 50, so we consider here 0.26. so 0.26 is the per unit cost in office. Okay, so 0.60, just add the office overheads in factory cost or work cost, we get the cost of production. Okay, here we add these office overheads in factory overheads, we get the cost of production or amount of cost of production. So here okay, so 39,000, so 39,100 is cost of production and 1.96 is cost per unit. Okay, so we give a name to that amount is cost of production. Okay, here we find out the amount of cost of production. Okay, cost of production. So here our first answer is completed. Now we are going to solve the second answer, that is profit earned on selling of 18,000 units. Okay, so prepare another cost sheet, that is here statement of profit earned by selling 18,000 units. Okay, 18,000 युनिट्स विकल्यानंतर किती प्रॉफिट होईल हे आता फाइंड आउट करायचं आहे. हा आला बी पार्ट आपला बी, Okay, so B part, we find out the profit earned by selling or for selling 18,000 units. Okay, so prepare a cost sheet. So here also insert a 3 column, that is particulars, total rupees and rupees per unit. Okay, per unit rupees here. Okay, so particulars, total rupees and per unit rupees. Okay, so here first of all find out the cost of goods sold. How we find out the cost of goods sold? It is very easy. Okay, so working note number second, working note second, that is finding out the cost of goods sold. Okay, so cost of goods sold is find out by, it is very easy. Let's see in the solution. Here cost of production is 39,100 and per unit 1.96. So we make these expenses for producing 20,000 units. Now we are know the cost of goods sold, so find out the cost of goods sold, uh, that is here for 20,000, for producing 20,000 units we incurred the expenses, that is 39,100. So for 18,000, okay, so for 18,000 how many expenses are incurred? So make it cross multiplication, or how many expenses are incurred for cost of goods sold. Okay, so here we make it cross multiplication. Okay, so cross multiplication is 18,000 multiplied by 39,100. Okay, divided by divided by 20,000, we get the cost of goods sold. So amount of cost of goods sold is divided by 20,000. Okay, we get the amount of cost of goods sold. Okay, so here cost of goods sold is equal to cost of goods sold is equal to 18,000 multiplied by 39,100. Okay, divided by 20,000, we get the cost of goods sold is equal to 35,190. Okay, so we find out the cost of goods sold. Remember the formula here. लक्ष द्या, यामध्ये वर्किंग नोट कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड कसा काढायचा. आता 18,000 युनिट्स विकलेत म्हटल्यानंतर आपण 18,000 युनिट्सचाच कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड करणार. बाकीचे 2,000 जे आहेत ते आपल्या स्टॉकमध्ये असतील. ओके, 2,000 युनिट्स जे असतील स्टॉकमध्ये असतील. मग कसा काढला तर 20,000 युनिट्स प्रोड्यूस करण्यासाठी खर्च येतोय 39,100, तर 18,000 युनिट्स प्रोड्यूस करण्यासाठी किती खर्च येईल? तर याचं क्रॉस मल्टिप्लिकेशन केलं 18,000 इंटू 39,100 डिवायडेड बाय 20,000, वी गेट द कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड. सो जस्ट ट्रान्सफर दिस कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड अंडर द statement of profit earned here. Okay, 35,000 ना बघा यामध्ये 35,190 is cost of goods sold. So there is no any change in cost per unit because एक युनिट प्रोड्यूस करण्यासाठी सुद्धा तेवढाच खर्च येणार आहे. 18,000 युनिट विकण्यासाठी सुद्धा आपली पर युनिट कॉस्ट काय बदलेल का? बदलणार नाही. पर युनिट कॉस्ट ही सेमच राहील कारण आपण प्रोड्यूस किती केलेत? 20,000 युनिट्स आणि विकलेत किती? 18,000 युनिट्स. तर 18,000 युनिट्स विकले असतील तर आपल्याला किती खर्च आला 18 युनिट्स विकायला? तर कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड हा आपला असणार आहे 35,190 आणि पर युनिट मात्र काही चेंज होणार नाही. ओके, त्याच्यानंतर यामध्ये आपण जे ॲड करतो ते म्हणजे सेलिंग ओव्हरहेड्स. बघा सेलिंग ओव्हरहेड्स दिलेत का? सर दिलेले आहेत. कुठं आहेत? तर शोधा यामध्ये. बघा किती आहेत? तर 37 पैसे इथं सांगितलेले आहेत. ओके, तर 37 पैसे यामध्ये आपण काय करणार आहे? ॲड करणार आहे. ओके, तर इथं येईल ते काय येईल तुमचं? सेलिंग ओव्हरहेड. सेलिंग ओव्हरहेड्स आता कसं येईल? तर 18,000 18,000 इंटू 0.37. ओके, इंटू 0.37%, that is 6,600. ओके, इट मीन्स 18,000 युनिट विकण्यासाठी आपल्याला सेलिंग खर्च किती येतोय? मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 0.37 पैसा. ओके, वी गेट द टोटल अमाउंट that is 6,660. okay, and per unit cost is given how much? So 0.37 is given in the problem. Just put the figure in per unit column. Okay, so we add the selling overheads in cost of goods sold. We get the total cost of products. Okay, total cost of products and cost per unit of the product. Okay, here we make the total of these selling overheads is add in total cost. So we get the 41,850. okay, 41,850 is our total cost or cost of sales. Okay, here we get the per unit cost, that is add the 0.37 paisa in 1.96, we get the 2.33% is cost of goods sold, sorry, cost of sale. We get the cost of sale or total cost. Now we easily find out the sales. Okay, here sales is given in the problem. How much sale is so here we write it in red color, that is add net profit. How we find out the net profit? Here sales, here sales. Okay, sales, how much is sales? Sales is 18,000 units, 18,000 units into 2.50 50 rupees. Okay, we sold one unit for rupees 2.50 each. Here okay, see this in the problem. Okay, so unit sold at 2.50 each, so sales is 2.18,000 into 2.50. Okay, so we get the amount of sales, that is 18,000 into 18,000 into 2.50. 45,000 is our sales. We selling the 18,000 units, we get total income as 45,000, and this is also in problem per unit sold by 2.50. ओके, कितीला एक युनिट विकतो आपण, ₹2.50 विकतोय. ओके, मग आता सेल्स कशी फाइंड आउट केली जाते, तर मी तुम्हाला इथं सांगितलं होतं. नेट प्रॉफिट कसं फाइंड आउट केलं जातं. नेट प्रॉफिट इज इक्वल टू सेल्स लेस total cost or cost of sales. Okay, so just put the figures in the formula. Here net profit is equal to sales 45,000 minus 41,850. We get the net profit as total net profit. Then we find out the per unit. Okay, total net profit is equal to 45,000 minus 41,850. Okay, we get the total net profit is 3,150. Okay, it is called total net profit. Okay, now we find out the net profit per unit. Okay, net profit per unit, it is also same sales. Okay, net profit here is equal to sales per unit minus cost of sales per unit. Okay, so here put the figures in the formula. So is equal to, here we find out the cost of sale per unit is 2.33 and total selling price is 2.50. so minus it, so put the figures in here sale per unit is ₹2.50 minus ₹2.33. We get the profit per unit. Okay, profit per unit is equal to 2.50 minus 2.33, 0.17 paisa. Okay, 0.17 paisa is our net profit per unit. Okay, so we verify it. How we verify it? So just calculate as 0.17 into 18,000. We get the total profit. Okay, so total profit is how much? 3,150. Okay, so here some mistake is there. So 45,000 minus 41,850. Okay, 2.50 minus 2.33 into 18,060. Okay, so we get the profit here 3100 150, okay, is our net profit, and per unit profit is 0.17, okay, is the profit of the business organization. Here we make it red to better understanding. So this is our profit and per unit profit, okay. So you solve this problem again and again, uh, 2 times you solve this problem, then you easily calculate the cost sheet as cost per unit and total cost, okay. So here we stop our cost sheet problem, and in our next lecture we start the quotation and tender, okay. If you have any query, then ask me, I will solve it. If you have any doubt, then ask me, okay. Thank you very much.